All right, treasure hunters, thank you for joining in. I'm your host Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we have an absolute amazing video for you today. Now, just take a look and read the thumbnail. This is the same thumbnail, by the way, that you saw before you even clicked into the video, and this should get you all hyped up because we have 10, maybe actually 11 or 12. All right, you'll know why here as we progress through the video. But we have 10 absolutely amazing coins that you could sell today for, at the very minimum, $50. $50 in your pocket. We're going to talk about how it all works. We're going to talk about what you need to find. And I mean, look at it. No grading. You don't need to grade any of these coins. So big red X right there. No grading. No errors. You don't have to worry about finding errors in order to make money. Now, that's another way to make money off of your coins, is to find errors. And of course, no BS. I'm not going to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm not going to throw shade or any of that stuff. I mean, what we have here, all worth at the minimum $50. Some of the coins even higher. I'm looking down the list, and I have 2 coins out of 10 where the minimum price is $50 raw. All right, so it's real simple. It's real simple. All you have to do is find one of these. And to be absolutely honest, I could have made a list of like 20, 30 coins, because there's a lot of other coins as well that would fit around that $50 threshold. Now, a few other things you have to keep in mind. These are all modern coins. You don't have to find silver. You don't have to find some sort of old obsolete coin like a Buffalo nickel or a Mercury dime. These are all brand spanking new coins from 1965 and up. Well, one coin is not, but I would say don't even worry about that one, because that one is still searchable and people are finding those, and the market has all of a sudden exploded for that particular coin. All right, so you saw the last line on my thumbnail right there. I promised you no BS. So here it goes. Here's kind of like all the fine print that you need to know about as you go through this video. You need a 10 times power loop or magnifier. This is a must. I don't want to hear any jazz about people saying that they could see these varieties with the naked eye, because that surely isn't happening. A lot of these, you certainly need some sort of magnification aid in order to correctly attribute these coins. The big reason why I used $50 for the pricing tier or threshold for this video is that when I go to talk to people about, okay, what makes a really phenomenal valuable coin, it seems to me that the number $50 is kind of thrown out there as quite the acceptable amount of money, where a find becomes absolutely amazing and relevant. All right, so that's why I used $50. I wanted to throw that in there, even though it wasn't in the fine print, no BS clause. All right, the second one that you see there, a few of the coins in this presentation were in graded slabs. All right. That's where I'm going to get the best quality to showcase the attributions and the varieties and all sorts of other different things you're going to look for on this list. I found that folks that have taken pictures of their raw coins and sold it on eBay, while they sell their coins for a good deal of money, the quality just isn't there. So we've used a few graded slab examples from great collections to help out and to aid in this list. So most of the photo credits do go to great collections. Selling them is a snap. Sell them on eBay in a 7-day auction or buy it now listing, and they will sell. Now the difference is 7-day auction, you want your money relatively right away. All right. Whereas with a buy it now listing, there's no guarantee that you're going to sell it within a day or two. It might take a week. It might take 2 weeks. It might take a month. But if you sell it as either a 7-day auction or a buy it now listing, you're good as golden. Buy it now listings just kind of ensures the amount of money that you want for your coin, where you don't have to accept anything less. The next one that we have here, photos are everything. Make sure you show the important diagnostics. You have to absolutely knock this tip out of the park. If you can't get the photos down, you're not going to have any success, even if you have found one of these varieties selling it on eBay. I cannot state this enough. When people look at listings, the clarity of these images and the close-up diagnostics are what's going to, make or break your coin deal. And then the final one at the bottom. Results may vary depending on listing end time, photo quality, correct attribution number, etc. I've seen coins end in the middle of the night when everybody is still asleep. You can't do that. All right, you have to sell your items where they end in like mid afternoon or early afternoon or somewhere around 4 or 5 o'clock. All right, you need to have the entire bandwidth of your audience available at a certain block time. Photo quality, like I had mentioned in the previous statement, and correct attribution number. You got to make sure that if you found a doubled die, that you do indeed say doubled with a D at the end of doubled and not double. Like, double Dutch. All right. Add that extra D in there. If you're going to use FS numbers or Wechsler numbers, make sure it's correctly attributed. Don't make up some weird funky number like I've seen before. You do all of these things, you'll be able to sell any coin that you find on this list. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in to the 10 coins that I have custom handpicked for this. And the first one is going to be a coin that, I don't think a lot of people give this particular coin its due. And I don't know why. It's either people don't look for them or they just have forgotten about them. But what we have here is the 1982 Philadelphia minted. It's a Philadelphia coin, ladies and gentlemen. You won't find this on a Denver or anything like that. Philadelphia Roosevelt dime. We have 2 Roosevelt dimes on screen, so this will be kind of like an example of how I will do my photo layouts throughout the rest of this presentation. So you're going to have the regular coin, the normal strike on the left, you're going to have the variety on the right. Now for 1982, there were a number of examples minted with the absence of the P mint mark. These coins are supposed to have a physical Philadelphia mint mark above the date. There are missing mint mark varieties of this coin, and they both come in both weak and strong strikes. The strong strikes are worth considerably more. You can tell the difference between one and the other. The weak strike will look like that the obverse was struck through grease, whereas the strong variant of the missing mint mark 1982 will have a completely, well-struck letters and date, like you see on this one. This is a strong example. These coins have routinely sold for between $100 and $200 raw. As a matter of fact, if you guys have watched my Pocket Change Market Report, we actually had an example of a no mint mark 1982 Roosevelt dime that was not graded that sold for about $80. That's a wonderful coin, and it certainly fits that 50 and up threshold that I was talking about. So this is a phenomenal one. I think if you're not searching through dimes, then you probably won't come across something like this. But these are out there. There are quite a few listings on eBay, so it just goes to show you that these are being found out there in circulation today. The next one is one of my favorites, and you're going to see kind of a theme in this top 10 list where you are going to be handsomely rewarded if you search through Lincoln Cents. I think Lincoln Cents have exploded in popularity lately, and with good reason. There are, by far and away, more varieties to look for in Lincoln Cents than any other denomination of coin, U.S. coin. This is the 1997 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Okay, you're going to see two coins here. This is the normal strike. This is the variety here on the right. And this is the doubled ear FS 101 double die obverse 1997. All right, so if you wanted to see the difference in size of that earlobe on both coins, the coin on the right is that variety. And I talked about this coin in the recent Monday market report that it sold for nearly $4,000. So if that high graded example sold for that kind of money, where do you need to be on this coin in order to get your 50 bucks? It would need to be somewhere like a low mint state grade. Fortunately, a lot of these copper-coated Lincoln cents kind of fit that profile of a mint state 61 or 62. That's like the average grade that you see on a lot of circulated pennies these days. But this one right here, if you look up close, this one has a much longer and doubled earlobe that is directly south of the primary earlobe. And that's what you're going to look for on this particular example. These coins, keeping in mind that your grade has to be somewhere in like mint state 60, 61 to obtain $50 or higher in raw condition, have routinely sold for between $50 and $100 for circulated examples with a strong doubled ear, like you see here. The next one that we have here is one that I just love talking about, and people are finding these left and right. Now, there is a certain part of the country in which these were distributed, and we'll get to that here momentarily, but we have a 2004 D. So for all you Denver fanatics out there, you guys are getting a little bit of love in this video. This is the Wisconsin statehood quarter, and as you guys know, there were a couple really, really newsworthy varieties in this particular statehood quarter. We have both the low and high leaf variants. Now, you're going to see two different sets of pictures. This is the regular coin on the left, and this is the high leaf Wisconsin quarter. You can actually see it right here under this corn stalk, this leaf right here, this extra line that sweeps upward, whereas on the regular type it does not have that. This is the more valuable of the two different leaf variants of the Wisconsin statehood quarter. The other one that you see here has the low leaf that sweeps downward. And you see that right here as well. The regular coin is on the left, so you could do a comparison of your images. These coins have been found in the South, so Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. I would even go and say that New Mexico and Louisiana and that area, you would find these coins. You know, Alabama, Mississippi, these were distributed in Texas during that time. And that's where a lot of folks are finding these coins. Now, these coins have been found all across the nation, but your largest concentration of both the low and high leaf variants have been found in the South region of the United States. These coins, in circulated condition, have sold for between $60 and $125 raw. Don't need to grade them. That's the cool good news part of this. The next coin that we have here is really a rough looking Jefferson nickel, but this particular coin has the distinction of being one of the most notable counterfeit coins. And I know, it's kind of blasphemous to even put a counterfeit coin on here, but this is a very well-known counterfeiter, okay? It goes by the name of Henning, and he had produced counterfeits for 6 different dates of Jefferson nickel, and on most of the examples, the coins are going to exhibit a porous look to them. Also, there's going to be a lot of lack of detail because these were produced from counterfeit dies. But as you can see, this is a 1944. And this is the same date as a wartime silver nickel. As you can see, it's supposed to have a big mint mark, but this one does not. This one's not even silver at all. As a matter of fact, it's a completely different composition. But the Henning nickels you could find in 1939, 1944, 1946, 1947, and 1953. A couple of the most common dates, I believe, are 1944 and I think 1946. There is currently a 1939 on eBay as of the date of this video for $1,500. That is one of the more tougher ones. It remains to be seen if that coin will sell for that kind of money. Now, here's the thing. The most common one, the 44 that you see here, you will see that it has a little bit of an eye loop here in the bottom of the R, the bottom leg. That is Henning's kind of like little marker. That's his own unique signature on every coin. But however, When you get into dates, I believe like 53, there's not going to be any sort of loop on that R. If Jeff Stanley, who is a pro at these Henning nickels, is watching, he will probably chime in and tell you which ones will not have that loop in the R that you see on this one. But that's kind of his calling card on these coins. Even on a 53, you could tell based off of the overall general appearance of the coin, you'll know if it's a Henning or not. The strike looks horrible. But these coins, I put here $50 and higher, but these are selling for a lot more than that. The 44 that you see here, there are a few of them on eBay, one of which is still in active bidding for over $130 as we speak. So it seems like the least expensive type or date of a Henning nickel far exceeds $100, and these are continuing to gain in popular. People are still finding these in circulation today. The next one that we have here is my personal favorite. If you go through and you get change in the form of golden dollars from your vending machine, or if you could pick these up at the bank, this is a good one to look for because these have a much higher value right out of the box, even circulated, than some of the other coins on the list. But we have a 2000p, first year of the Sacagawea new manganese alloy. Sacagawea dollar. This is the Wounded Eagle reverse. This one is just a phenomenal coin to look for. When we do a side-by-side comparison, you have the normal coin here on the left, but if you look here on the right, this is the Wounded Eagle. You can see kind of this slash raised line here that goes through the breast of the eagle and into the wing. It's actually two of them. There's supposed to be another one right here, which you could plainly see. But this one does not have it. The example on the right has that slash. And what it comes down to is that is a die gouge. Okay, just an inadvertent scrape on the die that was used to produce these coins. And that's how it got its namesake, Wounded Eagle. It looks like a spear going through the eagle. But these have been selling for strong money on the secondary market. To give you an idea, a lot of these are selling even in some of the most poor, roughest shapes for between $80 and $100. A lot of them have been averaging $100 to $200 for much nicer coins. And of course, the price continues to go up. The sky's the limit for that one right there. The next one that we have here is one of my favorites. And actually, from this point forward, it's all Lincoln cents. So this is where I say you get rewarded for going through Lincoln cents above any other denomination in U.S. coinage. This is the 1994 Lincoln Memorial Cent that exhibits the doubled die reverse. This is also referred to as the FS801 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. And a quick little comparison image. You have the correct regular coin here on the left, and then you have this one here on the right. And it's real simple. You'll see doubled columns in the two right bays of the Lincoln Memorial. And that's how you know you have the doubled die reverse. Now, these are only found on the Philadelphia minted examples. This one right here sells at a minimum of $50 and higher. The coin can be as low as an AU condition state in order to achieve the $50 mark for this coin. The next one that we have here is another favorite of mine. Now, as you can tell from the condition of the coin, this one was in pretty well circulated state. It's a 1999 Lincoln Memorial Cent that exhibits what we call the wide AM reverse. Now, there are a few dates of wide AMs. There's 98, 99, which is the most rarest and most valuable of the three, and 2000. A quick comparison of both coins. This is a plain regular struck 1999, and this is the variety wide AM. You can see just a nice size gap between the A and M in America, and that's what you'll look for on this coin. Very valuable coin, all right? Even in some of the lower condition states like low-end AU 50, 53, these sell routinely for about $100 and up. I mean, that's a pretty good amount of money for this coin that in which many millions, hundreds of millions were made of this particular date. This is a good one to look for. 1984 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is another fantastic one, and people are still finding this to this day. We have a few folks that have found them. on some of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and I'm glad to see these being saved out of circulation. But this is the doubled die obverse. It's also referred to as the doubled ear variety. All right, you can actually see it here on this particular image. But when we go to the comparison shot, you have a regular struck 1984 with just a single earlobe. And then here is your variety, the doubled ear. Okay, so you have your main earlobe here, and then you have that same earlobe struck twice right here underneath it. As you can tell, this one does not have it. Some will say this little bit here, right here, is also a doubled ear. That's not. That's just part of the hair design. I hear that all the time. This is a really great variety. I mentioned it's FS101 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. But this one right here routinely sells in AU condition and higher for $75 and up. So this is really another nice one. If you could find one of these, you're into money. Probably one of the most wildest double dies that you will ever find on modern Lincoln scents is going to be this one. It's a 1983 Lincoln Memorial scent that exhibits the ever crazy and dramatic double die reverse. It's also the FS801 and the Cherry Picker's Guide. And I don't have any close-ups because you just don't need it. I mean, check out the doubling on one scent, United, and the rest of states of America, and even in the motto E Pluribus Unum, or this right here, the motto is In God We Trust. And then even on spots like the initials and certain areas like the top right and the inner top bays of the memorial will all exhibit some of the most wildest spreads of doubling that you will ever see. Yes, this one is the FS801, and these coins, because of how popular and how just strong they are on the doubling front, routinely sell for $100 and up for lesser conditioned examples. And the final coin, and keep in mind, the list was compiled in no specific order, so it just so happens that the most valuable coin on the list happens to be the last one on the list. But we have a 1995D Lincoln Memorial set. Now, some people would say, well, there is a pretty nice double die for the 1995 Philadelphia coin, and there sure is. But even in higher grades, like mid-mint state 65, those coins still sell for about $30-$40. But here's one, ladies and gentlemen, that's not as wild in your face, but it's still pretty strong, and these sell for a heck of a lot more money. This is the double die obverse FS103. This one is also in the Cherry Picker's Guide. And some of your strongest doubling, this is the normal coin on the top. You just note how skinny the letters are in the motto. And then take a look at the variety that you see here. Now, there is also a little bit of doubling on the date and Liberty. Not very strong on Liberty, but you also see it on the date. But your motto is going to exhibit a lot better doubling. You could see it even in like the letters in Trust. You could see the notching and the splits. The letter W is way thicker than this top one here, the regular struck example. This is a coin in low mint state grades like a 61 or 62. Again, you don't need to grade these. That still sell for $250 and up. I mean, that's a heck of a proposition for looking through your Lincoln scents. And a lot of these are copper-coated Lincolns, okay? We didn't look at anything pre-1982. We didn't look at anything. The only other exception are the Henning nickels because those are a little bit older. But because those weren't silver pre-1965, they're still available out there in nickel boxes today. But this is the most expensive variety out of the 10 or so that I've talked about in this video. This is one to keep an eye out on if you are searching through Lincolns. And that's going to go ahead and do it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video on some absolutely amazing finds that you can turn and flip for a good deal of money. All right. I know it sounds simple, but you just got to look for them. If you don't look for them, then it's going to appear difficult. I found every single one of the coins on the list with exception of the final coin on the list. I'm still looking for that. I've thought about just going ahead and buying one, but that would entail me having to spend $250 and higher for an example. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hopefully you enjoyed this video today. Don't forget to like, share, or subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And feel free to hit that button for instant notifications. It's the little bell icon next to the subscribe button below the video. But that's it. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. I hope you enjoy this. Happy hunting. There's a ton of other varieties, and maybe you could throw in errors that you could find. They're certainly worth $50 and up. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Hopefully you found a little bit of inspiration for your hunt here in the near future. You guys take care, and I'll see you on the next coin video.